for having me.
Let me let you add to the conversation based on what you've heard so far.
I think that there cannot be healing without reparations. There cannot be reconciliation without reparations. People talk about unity. We need to come together. We need to focus on what brings us together, not what divides us. Reparations is a part of what can bring us together and bring the healing that we need in our country.
And how do reparations begin to foster that?
I think reparations is, first of all, an acknowledgement. This was wrong, this happened, and not only did it happen, because it wasn't just a one-time thing, it's a lineage, it's a legacy that has continued, it has transformed, it never stopped. And I think that's what people missed. When George Floyd was murdered, everybody kind of woke up like, oh my God, what just happened? And we're like, what do you mean? It's been happening. Where have you been, right? So it's a continuation that started there, but it's continued on. So reparations is an acknowledgement that something needs to happen to begin to repair the damage that has been done.
I have people asking me, is there any response that America could give right now to stop this?
See, I think that's the problem. It's too little too late. We want to respond. We need to be proactive. And reparations is about being proactive. We've had so much time to figure this out, but nothing has ever been done. So what does that tell you? There's a disconnect that's there. And again, education. People don't even know the history. They don't even know what it is. So they can't connect it to what's happening today. And that's the problem. That's why we have to say reparations are something that we need to talk about. And people are like, well, what do you mean? Well, why is that? Because you don't know the history, because you never got the education.
So there's no acceptable response reaction in the short term, but what is it in the long term?
It's everything. It's hitting every area that has been touched by systemic racism. We're talking about housing discrimination. We're talking about financially. We're talking about in healthcare. The maternal mortality rate for Black women is higher than any other group. Everything that's been touched by it in our society, which has basically been embedded into the fabric of our society, it has to be addressed in every single area. It's not just a check. That's just like the beginning.
When it comes to race, find out why our next guest says we're looking too much at the past and not enough at the opportunities that we have right in front of us. We'll be right back. Okay, who else has coming? Over here?
If it's about discrimination as well, where do other races fall into all this, such as the Hispanic community or the Asian community? Do they get, monetary value as well? Or is it more focused on just, one community?
So anytime we talk about Black Americans and reparations or what's happening today and how it connects to chattel slavery, everybody suddenly wants to talk about everything else. Let's talk about classism. And there is an intersection between classism and sexism, but we're not talking about that right now. Now you want to say, well, what about everybody else? This is what happens. This is why nothing has been done all this time, because we can't stay focused on one issue at a time. We're talking about something very specific that we want to address that has not been addressed, so we need to face that first. Once we do that, or while that's happening, we can be addressing other things too. But we can't keep gaslighting and being like, well, people who are poor, they're dealing with issues too. People who are from the Asian community are dealing with issues too. No one said that they weren't. But we're trying to deal with one issue and get solutions for that first, because it should have happened a long time ago and it still hasn't happened. So it's time to pay up.